What is up, BC? Look, I wasn't planning on doing a video this quickly, another vinyl update this quickly, but since I separated my stuff from after Christmas, I already had a queue of records. I was going to wait around to show, but today in the mail, I got a Grail, definitely a Grail. I don't know, man. It's awesome. It's playing in the background. Television's Marquee Moon. This is the Rhino reissue from this year. See, I got the sticker and stuff on the back here. Replica of the original. The label's up there on the turntable, so I can't show you that. I don't know if this is what the sleeve looked like. Since I first started buying, this is on my list. I know it's a classic record, so it's not the craziest Grail in the world, but it's one of my favorite albums. It was reissued by 4 Men with Beards around the time that I just started working at the record store that I managed. And I was new to collecting. I wasn't aware that 4 Men with Beards might actually go out of print. And my old boss there had bought a copy. My old boss is now the guitarist in my band, so we're really good friends. But he had bought the copy. Eventually it went out of print. He has gone back and forth between selling his whole record collection. So he'd always offer that to me. And then he'd be like, "No, I'm going to sell it on eBay." And then he'd go back and forth. And of course the original goes for a ton of money. But man, I got to give props to Craig. I watched his video. Zappa 21786, whatever it is, 71286. Good looking out, man. I had an Amazon gift card, so I got it for $8. Way less than I thought I'd ever pay for it. Totally stoked. But since I'm doing a video, I'm just going to show you the stuff I've gotten since Christmas. Some of it was ordered before Christmas, and I was waiting on a couple other records, but there's a good lot in here. My favorite antique store got a copy of Buzzcocks Singles Going Steady in here. And there. Sorry. It's on IRS Records. Solid front to back. Works just as well as a lot of the classic punk records. This is 1979. There's not much there, is there? Good stuff, good punk rock. It's a compilation, but I've got a few Buzzcocks singles, and I don't know much about their records. It's kind of dark, isn't it? It's gonna have to look. Oh, it just got light. This webcam sucks, but at least it works. The next two records were basically a holiday bonus from my boss at the record store. It was just, I only was asking for one of these, but he just gave me two. Roots by Curtis Mayfield. This is the first Curtis Mayfield I've heard, and I don't know why I've slept on it for so long. He's phenomenal. This record is just great. My friend Chris, who I mentioned before, that makes private videos, he's always telling me to check out Curtis Mayfield, his original inner. He's always telling me to check out Curtis Mayfield, and he's got all of his records, and I've just never heard him for some reason, even as much as he talks about him. So finally put it on. It's a good call. So I got that one from my boss, and just this is kind of another Grail, really. I found this in a stack of country records that he was pricing, and I should have been snooping around, but I can't help myself. There's a stack of records in front of me. It's Michael Hurley, the unholy Modal Rounders, and what's that last one? Jeffrey Fredericks and the Clam Tones, Have Moisey. This is, I have another Michael Hurley record. It's a reissue, but it's Armchair Boogie. This is an original on Rounder, and this is just some good musicians getting drunk over for an entire weekend. It's like a bender. on LP. The songs are funny but well written. The singing's funny. You know, songs like "What Made My Hamburger Disappear," Griselda, Robin Banks, love that song. But there's a lot of good players on here that I know nothing about. Let's see, maybe someone will recognize someone here. Because I don't know much about the Holy Modal Rounders or any of that. I more know this record. This is my first exposure to Michael Hurley. So that's good. This is an eBay. The next one's an eBay purchase that. God damn. I'm so glad to have Marquis Moon. Good stuff. So I bought this on eBay for lower than I've ever seen it, and I think it's because it's about to be reissued. This and Dots and Loop are being reissued in a couple weeks, but either way, I'm glad to have an original pressing of Emperor Tomato Ketchup, my favorite Stereolab record. Most people's favorite. Very unoriginal. I love these liner notes. Manifesto in there. I don't understand what half of it says, but good stuff. This record was a gift from my girlfriend. The next two actually I bought for Catherine. She grew up with a tape of Grover songs from Sesame Street, and I cross-referenced the tape with some of the LPs that were available and found this, Grover Sings the Blues. This is a lot of fun. This is actually surprisingly hard to find. I had to wait I had originally planned on getting her this for Valentine's Day, then I had to move to her birthday, and then finally Christmas. I was able to find it for under $50, which is crazy. I ended up only paying $11 for this, and it's in great shape. It's just a good record, and one of those things that if me and Catherine ever decide to start a family, this would be a nice one to have around. I don't know if we'll ever start a family though. We're too lazy. I don't know. One of Catherine's favorite records I was able to pick up for her in case she didn't like the Grover album. Thelonious Monk, Straight No Chaser. I've got a lot of Thelonious Monk. He's one of my favorites. I am looking for that one though. Crisscross. If anybody's got Crisscross and wants to set up a trade, I might have something you're looking for. But classic Thelonious Monk. She was so excited. And this next one was a gift from Catherine to me. This is my record. She always gets me one really nice record that I normally wouldn't splurge on myself, and that's D'Angelo's Voodoo. Classic R&B record. Light in the Attic reissue, who I mentioned in my last video, but they've only got the tiny Light in the Attic logo, because this is actually under the Modern Classic Recordings, and I think this has probably been shown a couple times. Great gatefold with the original Saul Williams poetry liner notes. There's a little essay in here, which I actually don't think the essay is that great, but it's got some nice insights on the record. Double vinyl. It sounds fantastic. This is, a slow, cloud of smoke. This record. It's kind of almost like an R&B bedroom record, even though it cost hundreds of thousands more than a bedroom record, possibly. But if you hear like the live versions of this song, this kind of plays like just a cloudier version of those live songs, which is really good. And I've never heard anyone mumble their songs as well as he does. But fantastic musician, and been looking for this for a while. Glad they reissued it, because it started to get really expensive. So that's it. Now it's going to be a while before my next final update. I was hoping to space it out, but I just got too excited about television. Figured I'd show the rest. Anyway, thanks for watching. Y'all take it easy.